Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Upshift Podcast, the podcast that is all about Formula Racing. How is everyone doing today? Today we are discussing the Imola Grand Prix. I don't know how to pronounce the actual Grand Prix name, so I'm just going to call it the San Marino Grand Prix or the Imola Grand Prix. I'm pretty sure it's like Santa Maragna? I don't know. I can't speak Italian or any language that's not English. Yeah, we are reviewing it. We're back with weekend recap. The race, okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't catch a lot of the race. My alarm clock didn't go off at the time that was needed because of daylight savings. It was an hour behind, and I really don't know what happened. So I missed like 30 laps, but I caught the tail end of it and then watched the replays. But it was a very interesting thing. The start was cool. I missed that, which really made me angry, because Lewis Hamilton had a bad start. Had a really bad start. Went down from P2 to P3. Lost out to... P2 to P3. Max Verstappen got ahead of him. And Pierre Gasly, he nearly got ahead of him. And in the usual Albon form, he lost a few positions, which, being an Albon fan, it's just pain. It's just condensed pain now, because it's just a ball of pain being an Albon fan at this point. Cause I will stay an Albon fan because he is my favorite driver, and I gotta represent my Asian squad because I'm Asian. But it's really painful to watch him because I really want him to succeed. I want him to just do better, but he just can't seem to do better. He's bad on a Saturday. He's bad on starts, which really screws him up. His race pace is actually really good for some reason, usually, except for the past few races, which I don't know what happened. He showed really good race pace in a few races in the past, but it's just, I don't know what's happening to him. It just seems like all sense of Formula One speed is just gone from him. It's just drained him. It's kind of like you got a syringe and then you stabbed him with a syringe and just took out all of his pace and then injected it into Pierre Gasly. That's basically what happened. Is what happening. I can't speak because I am in pain. But I do hope, because he's more than likely going to be demoted to AlphaTauri. Red Bull have said that they're not going to drop him. They don't have any plans to drop him. So he's more than likely going to stay with AlphaTauri, but in the small chance that they do fully drop him from their F1 team, both teams, Formula E does seem like a pretty good option for him. But yeah, we'll see what holds for him in the future. But moving on from that, Valtteri got off the line pretty well, but later in the race didn't go so well. Lewis took the lead, and lap 13, I believe, somewhere around there, Lewis was like, oh, hey, my front right is just, it's not looking good. I can't turn. And then fastest lap, then fastest lap, and 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 then fastest lap. I don't get Lewis. I don't know what's happening, but I never get it, because he said, hey, Bono, my tires are dead. And then he'll go on to set 45 million lap times. Best lap time, purple sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, fastest lap. Pulled out a 30-second gap on Vertsappen, which is unbelievable, on dead tires, quote unquote. For the visual listeners, they can see the air quotes that I put, but the other people can't. But I just don't say your tires are dead. Don't give us false hope, Lewis, that there might be a title challenge. But yeah, Lewis will win. He will win the championship, and I'm pretty sure if he wins the next race, he will win the championship. it's incredible to see how Lewis is just going, really, through all the criticism, through all the people just saying he's never going to be the greatest, remembered as one of the greatest. He's not. He's going to be one of the greatest drivers of all time. He's about to tie. He holds like 4 records. He's going to be noticed as one of the greatest drivers of all time, so there's no point in saying he's not going to be. But will he be the greatest driver of all time? We shall see. And recent comments from him saying that there's no guarantee he will be in F1 next year, which is a bit concerning, because I really want him to get 100 wins, because that'd be kind of cool to see, the first ever person to get triple digit wins. But he might retire. He might say I'm satisfied with my 7 world championships. He's going to link the stamp and send his retirement. I don't know. It's up to him, really, because it's not going to be up to me, obviously, for very, very, very obvious reasons, because I'm not him. But yeah, I do genuinely hope he doesn't retire, because I love Lewis Hamilton. He's a really good driver, and he is one of the greatest drivers of all time. But going to the race, back to the race, just Pierre looked really good. Could have gotten a podium. He was looking really good. But then Honda became Honda again, and boom, his engine decides to just not work, and a terminal issue forced him to retire. I definitely think he could have gotten a podium. I'll talk about the situation leading up to why he could have later. But yeah, I think he could have definitely gotten a podium, because he was getting near to Riccardo, and we all know how this turns out. But later in the race, we were riding along, and I was really surprised to see Kimi in 4th, and then I noticed he hadn't pitted in 45 laps. I don't know how you can stretch a tire that long, and he kept Sergio behind. I don't know how he did that. He just kept Sergio behind, and at one point he actually started pulling away from Sergio. It was unbelievable to see, because that Racing Point is a bullet. It goes so fast. It has decent straight line speed and decent corner stability. And that Alfa Romeo is the new Williams, let's be honest. And to see Kimi it was like 3/10, and then all of a sudden it was 5/10. And then I was like, what's going on? And then 7/10, and then back to 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then a second, and then a second, 1.1, and then it started to go to 1.2, and then it came right back down, and he ended up hitting, because it's a medium tire going 45 laps. So yeah. But yeah, he had a good race, double points finish for Alfa Romeo, and both drivers are signed for 2021, by the way. Antonio Giovinazzi will stay for 1 more year, and we'll see what happens to him afterwards, and also Kimi. But later in the race, we're riding along. I forgot who, but we're riding along, and then all of a sudden, yellow flags, and I was like, oh, someone's gone off. And then we cut to Max Verstappen, and his tire blows up. He's off in the gravel, and I was so shocked. I was looking at it, and I was, how does a tire explode? It looked like someone was just sitting in a tree and then shot it, and then it just exploded. I don't know how it exploded that bad. Maybe there was some debris he ran over, maybe overheating. It just exploded, and he was out of the race and out of a podium. And then safety car, and I saw George Russell, P10, 10 laps to go, perfect, his first ever points, and then he pulled a Romain Grosjean, he gave it a bit too much throttle into the wall, straight into the wall, out of the race. I wanted to cry. It was so heartbreaking to see him that close. It's happened twice this year and once last year in Germany. That close. But he just makes a mistake and he's out. It's just that close every time. But it was just heartbreaking to see, and just to see him on the side of the road, just sitting there with his head down and his head is in his hands. It was just bad to see. I just didn't like. It was just really sad to see. But he will definitely score some points later in the season, more than likely. I think Bahrain, the regular circuit, not the outside circuit, I think that might suit the Williams car, and he might be on for his first ever not podium points, his first ever points of his career. But moving on, I saw not Lewis Hamilton. I keep messing up on names. I saw Alex Albon, P5, has, I think, Charles Leclerc and Daniel Riccardo in front of him. I was like, oh, this is perfect. He can, if he gets this right, he can get a podium. Second podium, then Red Bull might keep him. He drops down a position, and then he spins. And that's when I realized that being an Albon fan is pain. It's sad to see him just crumble like this, just like Pierre did last year. It's so sad just to see this talented driver who definitely has talent, who definitely has pace, but just to see him crumble is just really sad. But I think if he goes in that AlphaTauri car, he has the resurgence, I think I'm saying that right, the resurgence of like Pierre Gasly. If he gets his confidence back, he gets to just get his pace back up, I think that he can challenge for that Red Bull seat in the future, because I really, really, really want him to be in that Red Bull seat. And I think Red Bull did a bad decision again with their drivers to rush them in a Red Bull seat. I think they should have been more patient with Pierre, and I think they're rushing Albon into this, and they're suiting the car to Max. They've openly admitted that. Helmut Marko said that they're suiting the car more towards Max because both cars, for some reason, and trying to make him faster, because they need Max to score the most points and to challenge for the title, because to be honest, Albon wouldn't challenge for the title. And then they said they did that last year with Pierre. So then why do they not expect those drivers to compete in the same level as Max? But it's just kind of frustrating to see, because these are two pretty talented drivers who, from the Red Bull program, just really crumble and lose all sense of pace, confidence, anything in the Formula One car. But we will see in a few weeks. I'm pretty sure they will be announcing next week their driver lineup, and we'll see if they keep Albon, if they decide to go with someone like Hülkenberg, Perez, or they maybe even Yuki Tsunoda, which is actually some rumors. But yeah, we'll see in the coming few weeks. But Daniel Ricciardo, driver of the day for me. It would have been Pierre, but he DNF'd, obviously. But Daniel Ricciardo, it was actually, I think both Daniel and Daniil are the driver of the day, because Daniel Kvyat, my God, what a restart for him. He did amazingly, going from, I think, P8, P7, all the way up to P4, and then just riding into the distance, and nearly catching Daniel Riccardo for P3. But in the end, Daniel Riccardo gets the last podium and his second podium of 2020, and the second podium of Renault in 2020. And apparently Cyril's not going to do another tattoo, which I'm a bit mad about, because it would be quite funny if he had to get another tattoo. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo is having an amazing season so far, and I think a round of applause is deserved from him. And also, he did a shoey finally. He finally did a shoey on the podium, and Lewis did one too, which was weird to see. Him just like, yeah, give me the shoe, yeah, and then they both do the shoe. That was a bit weird. But yeah, good job by Riccardo. You get the Upshift Podcast Driver of the Day award. It's quite meaningless, but it's still an award, and put it on your shelf for now. But thank you everyone for watching / listening if you're on audio only. Have a good day. Consider sharing with friends and family. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at Upshift. All the links will be down in the description, by the way, if you don't want to listen to me. Follow me on Twitter at the Upshiftcast. Follow me on Instagram at Upshift. Follow me on Facebook at Zeki Bosham. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at just Upshift. The T in Upshift is a 1, because I want to do Formula 1 jokes. But yeah, have a good day. Wear your masks, and a goodbye.